So as you guys all know, I'm from a little town in Stratford, Ontario, Canada, a town of 30,000 people, and I never dreamed this day would come. My album is in stores, and I'm just so excited. You guys made my dreams come true, and like I said, I never thought this would happen. So thank you guys so much, and I really appreciate it. All right.
Picture. You want to come in? I'm good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, can you take a picture?
Who's that?
Selena Gomez, Ollie. She's
What
like
is
one of the biggest singers in the world.
Wow. Oh my god. And then there's a pink, purple photo there. Selena Gomez. What does she sing?
I'll play you some more of our songs in a minute.
Guys, I just met Bassy at the hotel and he's just about to start up the rebel, so... That sounds so good, guys.
There's something about the glare of the spotlight that can warp even the strongest sense of self. For Justin Bieber, that spotlight arrived early, burned bright, and threatened to consume everything in its path, including his own sense of identity. Now, as he looks back on a decade spent growing up in the public eye, the pop superstar is learning to make sense of his past mistakes, the loves that shaped him, most notably Selena Gomez, and now his wife, Hailey Bieber, and the person he is finally becoming. But the journey hasn't been easy. I think one thing for us to remember is the pain doesn't mean we did something wrong. Justin recently shared during a candid conversation, because that's what I keep thinking, like, that's a hard feeling. Now it's never going to be the same. I think that's a paradox we all suffer with a little bit. Like, is it our fault? His words echo a sentiment that's universal. The sense that pain is punishment, that heartbreak is a sign of a fatal flaw. But as Justin Bieber's story reveals, the truth is far more nuanced and far more hopeful. When Justin Bieber first burst on the scene with his hit Baby, the world saw a cherubic teenager with floppy hair and an angelic voice. But fame, especially when it arrives so young, comes with its own set of challenges. Justin's every move was dissected, his every mistake magnified. The adoration of millions could not protect him from the pitfalls of adolescence. If anything, it made them harder to avoid. By his late teens, Justin was already weathering scandals and controversies, from run-ins with the law to widely publicized struggles with substance abuse. He became a favorite target for tabloids eager to document his every misstep. For many, Justin was a cautionary tale, a symbol of how fame can go wrong. But behind the headlines was a young man wrestling with questions that would be familiar to anyone. Who am I, really? What I want? And how do I move on from my mistakes? Much of Justin's early adult life was defined by his relationship with Selena Gomez. Their on-again, off-again romance captivated fans and dominated social media. For years, the two seemed locked in a cycle of passion, heartbreak, and reconciliation. Justin has been open about the intensity of those years. It was a real relationship, a real love, and when it ended, it hurt, he has said. The breakup was more than just tabloid fodder. It forced Justin to confront his own role in the relationship's failures. I think a lot of people look at heartbreak as a sign that they messed up, that they're broken. He reflects. I spent a long time blaming myself, thinking if I had just been better, things would have worked out. But the truth is, sometimes people grow apart. Sometimes you have to lose something to figure out who you are. For Justin, the pain of losing Selena was a turning point. It forced him to look inward, to face the parts of himself he'd been avoiding. He admits that, at times, he was immature, selfish, and unable to handle the pressures of both fame and love. But he also realizes that growth is impossible without mistakes. While the world watched Justin's breakup with Selena play out, few could have predicted what came next. After years of tumult, Justin found stability, and eventually marriage, with model Hailey Baldwin, now Hailey Bieber. Their relationship was different from the start. With Hailey, I felt safe, Justin explains. She saw me for who I was, flaws and all, and loved me anyway. She didn't expect me to be perfect. Marriage didn't magically erase Justin's struggles, but it gave him a new sense of purpose. I had to learn how to be a good partner, how to show up for someone every day, even when it was hard, he says. And that meant dealing with my own issues, not running from them. Hailey has spoken openly about the challenges of being married to someone with Justin's history and the work it takes to build a strong relationship. Together, they weathered public scrutiny, mental health challenges, and the ordinary difficulties of married life, all while under the constant gaze of fans and critics alike. For Justin, this chapter is about redemption, not just in the eyes of the world, but within himself. I used to think that making mistakes made me unworthy of love or happiness, he says. Now I know that everyone messes up. What matters is what you do next. Justin's journey is a reminder that pain is not always a sign of failure. In fact, it's often the catalyst for growth. That's the paradox we all suffer with a little bit, Justin muses. Is it our fault? Did we mess up? Sometimes, yes. But sometimes pain is just a part of life, a sign that we're human, that we care deeply. He acknowledges a temptation to dwell on the past, to replay mistakes over and over again. It's easy to get stuck there, to think you'll never get it right. But I've learned that if you keep moving forward, if you keep trying to do better, eventually you start to heal. That healing hasn't come easily. Justin has spoken about his battles with depression, anxiety, and self-doubt. He credits therapy, faith, and strong relationships for helping him find his way. I want people to know it's okay to hurt, he says. It's okay to feel lost. But you're not stuck. You can change. You can grow. And you can find love again, even after you've been hurt. As someone who's lived more in his 20s than most people do in a lifetime, Justin has hard-won wisdom to share. Justin doesn't shy away from the ways he's hurt himself and others. You can't heal if you're always pretending you're fine, he says. Admit when you've messed up. Apologize. Make amends. Then move forward. It's easy to believe that pain means you failed or that you're broken, Justin says. But pain is just part of the process. It doesn't mean you're unlovable. For Justin, finding people who love him despite his flaws, like Hailey, was crucial. You need people in your life who see you, not the image of mistakes, but you. That's what helps you heal. The past is important, but it's not everything, Justin advises. You can't change what happened, but you can decide who you want to be now. Justin Bieber's story is still being written. He's still learning, still growing, still making mistakes, and still finding his way. But through it all, he's discovering who he really is beyond the headlines, beyond the mistakes, beyond the pain. I don't have it all figured out, he admits. But I do know that I'm not defined by my worst moments. None of us are. I'm grateful for the people who stood by me, who loved me even when I was hard to love. And I hope I can be that person for someone else. For anyone struggling with heartbreak, regret, or the fear that their mistakes make them unworthy, Justin's journey is a beacon of hope. Pain is not the end. It's the beginning of something new. And as Justin Bieber continues to grow into the person he was always meant to be, he invites us all to do the same. So the next time you find yourself wondering, is it my fault? Did I mess it all up? Remember Justin's words. Pain doesn't mean you did something wrong. It just means you're alive, growing, and maybe becoming exactly who you're meant to be